Well, as Carolyn and I began our discussion on this capital campaign and what we should give, we reviewed what God has done in our lives and how faithful He has been throughout our life. We've moved many times during our 46 years of marriage, but God has always led us to a church family that helped strengthen our faith and supported us wherever we lived. In Columbia, that was Alive in Christ. And we feel very blessed to be a member of this congregation and feel that the congregation and pastor has led us to strengthen our faith and our prayer life. Throughout our marriage, God has provided. Early in our marriage, we decided to give at least 10% of our earnings to the Lord. And once we made that decision, God has always provided the funds that was necessary throughout our entire life, even the raising of our 4 kids and putting all 4 of them through college. Like I said, at times the funds were very tight, but whenever there was an unexpected expense, God always provided the money in some way, usually with unexpected funds. In March, as the campaign began, we were very excited about the campaign and what this new addition will do for our church and how we'll be blessed with both our current members and the new members that join. So we began praying about what we should donate to this building Relationships for Life Capital Campaign. Carolyn's the bookkeeper for our family, and so she looked at the budget.
And I calculated what I thought we could do for the initial gift. We'd already decided that the stimulus money would go for the capital campaign. And also we've been putting aside money for a replacement car and for about 4 years now. And we decided that this money also should go for the campaign. We've been truly blessed by God with our cars. Each of them has lasted over 150,000 miles. And so we decided we knew we could trust Him in this. And then I looked at our budget for the next 3 years, and I calculated what I thought we could give for monthly pledge to the campaign. And then I talked with Bob about it, and he asked if this was sacrificial. And I looked at him, and I said, that's a lot of money. Of course it's a sacrifice. But that night, I didn't sleep real well. I woke up thinking about what was a sacrifice. And the Lord just seemed to be asking me, what was I giving up for Him? And more importantly, what was I depending on Him for rather than my own budgeting? And so the next morning we talked about it, prayed about it some more.
So we sat down that next day and looked at the numbers just a little differently. One of the things was that we were expecting a larger than normal income tax refund. And Carolyn had already been talking about that we needed to replace our TV set. It's 20 years old and the remote wasn't working. So I had to get up and push the buttons all the time. And she would like to change the refrigerator. And one thing that we have is a 38-year-old vacuum cleaner. And she really thought it was time we got rid of it. But as we thought about it, and especially with the sacrificial giving aspect of it, we decided that God says we should trust Him. He's kept these things running all the years, that we should use the income tax refund as part of our initial gift. And so we decided that's what we would do. That day, the remote started working again. So we went back to the 3-year budget and started looking at the numbers again and trying to decide what it meant to trust Him to provide rather than what we could do for ourselves. And we always ask the congregation when we pass the church budget to trust God to provide and to step forth in faith. So that's what we've decided to do too for our 3-year budget. So our final commitment ended up being even more than we ever imagined. But our God is a faithful God, and we trust that He will provide what we need. Thanks be to God.